Redmi recently launched two new smartphones in its Note 11 series, the Redmi Note 11 and the Redmi Note 11S. In this video, let's review the Redmi Note 11S, talk about its advantages over the Redmi Note 11 so that you can decide which one among these two is the better pick for you. Hello everyone, I'm Ania from Mr. Phone, and before we start, consider hitting that red subscribe button for detailed tech videos and also turn on the bell so that you don't miss any of our latest updates. And if you love this video, then definitely smash that thumbs up button, it motivates us. Let's address the similarities first. Both the Redmi Note 11S and the Redmi Note 11 share a lot when it comes to design, hardware and features. First and foremost, just like the Note 11, the Redmi Note 11S comes in this handy form factor featuring a plastic build and Gorilla Glass protection up front. I mean, visually both these phones are almost identical and they can easily be mistaken for one or the other if you don't see them closely. The only visual difference between both these phones is the protruding main camera on the Redmi Note 11S thanks to the bigger 108 megapixel sensor. But apart from this, the physical dimensions, button placement, stereo speakers and all that stuff remain the same, so there's not much difference between the Redmi Note 11 and the Redmi Note 11S when it comes to the design and build. Coming to the front, both the Redmi Note 11 phones share the same displays, so the Note 11S also comes with the superb 90Hz 6.43-inch AMOLED panel with 700 nits typical brightness that you also get on the Note 11. And just like I noted in my Redmi Note 11 review as well, this is an excellent panel not just for the price of the Redmi Note 11 but also for the price at which the Note 11S retails for. The multimedia consumption is great on this thing, and I know the display doesn't get the HDR10 certification here, but for what's on offer, the overall experience while watching videos or playing games is good. Things look superb, there's Widevine L1 certification for watching Full HD stuff on OTT, and all of this is definitely complemented by one of the best and loud sounding stereo speakers that you can get in a smartphone in this price bracket. Apart from this, both smartphones run MIUI 13 atop Android 11, sadly no Android 12 on the Note 11S as well. But just like the Note 11, I haven't faced any major issues when it comes to software optimization. Lags and stutter were a bare minimum. Bloatware and some preloaded stuff exists but can be easily uninstalled, so that is great. And rest, all the features that you get on the Note 11 are here on the Note 11S as well. So naturally, most of the mainstream apps are optimized to take advantage of the 90Hz screen refresh rate. However, the only flaw that I will point out here is again that Google Chrome only works at 60 Hz, and this was the exact problem with the Redmi Note 11 as well. So I believe Redmi should definitely look into the matter. So similar design, similar display, similar software experience. Actually, the battery capacity is also the same. That is, you get a 5000 mAh battery under the hood along with a 33-watt charger supplied in the box. More on the endurance part in a bit, but for now, what about the differences between these two smartphones? Well, there are two major ones. First up is the presence of the 12nm Helio G96 processor inside the Redmi Note 11S versus the 6nm Snapdragon 680 chipset inside the Redmi Note 11. Here's a look at the variants and prices of both the Note 11 phones. You can pause and take a look. So coming back to the SoCs, well, both the Helio G96 and the Snapdragon 680 make sure that day-to-day tasks are handled with ease on both the Redmi Note phones. In fact, both devices are absolute champs when it comes to dealing with regular day-to-day things like checking the web, making calls, browsing social media, playing casual games and stuff. However, if hardcore gaming is your thing, then you would definitely appreciate the Redmi Note 11S simply because this one gives you better graphics at your disposal in games over the Redmi Note 11. For instance, BGMI, a fairly popular game in India among Android users, is only able to run on balanced graphics and medium FPS on the Note 11, while the Note 11s is able to run the same game at HD graphics and high FPS settings, and this I feel does bring a significant difference in the overall BGMI experience. Moving on, when it comes to battery life, and in this area the Note 11 edges out the Redmi Note 11s. Now this is not by a huge margin. In fact, both phones are pretty solid in their own right when it comes to endurance. However, the Snapdragon 680 inside the Note 11 does prove to be more efficient than the Helio G96 inside the Note 11s. During my time with the Redmi Note 11s, I was easily able to last a full day on a single charge with heavy usage, and on lighter days I could even go 2 days on a single charge with around 6 hours of screen on time. Finally, let's talk about the camera system, which again on the Redmi Note 11s is pretty similar to the setup of the Note 11, apart from the main 108 megapixel camera that the Note 11s gets here. So the bigger sensor coupled with the superior ISP of the Helio G96 made sure that the shots coming out of the Note 11s's primary camera looked color rich, had plenty detail, and also had better dynamic range. In fact, many a times the Note 11's output looked warmer in comparison. Same story with the ultra wide angle lens, that is, while the output wasn't the sharpest around from either phones, it was definitely better from the Note 11s, both in terms of detail and color reproduction. Full resolution shots taken at 108 megapixel from the Note 11s and at 50 megapixel from the Note 11 also show the former's dominance. I mean, simply looking at this sample, the 11s is leaps and bounds ahead of the Note 11 in terms of preserving details. Portrait mode shots again looked better from the Note 11s, while edge detection was good on both. Colors, highlights and shadows were handled much better on the Redmi Note 11s. Coming to the selfies, once again the Note 11s takes the lead, be it in terms of normal selfies or portrait selfies. Shots were sharper, and in fact I also preferred my skin tones in Note 11s's output. Lastly, these are the photos taken in low light, and in my review of the Redmi Note 11, I already told you guys about its weak performance in not so great lighting. However, this is where the Redmi Note 11s steps up with better processing of photos taken at night. Now, I'm not saying the Note 11s takes the best night shots out there, but in comparison to the Redmi Note 11, there's a stark difference in the output. I mean, looking side by side to the photos taken from the Note 11, the Redmi Note 11s took fine photos at night with decent amount of detail along with minimal noise in the output. Okay, in terms of video recording, both the Note 11 phones can shoot only up to 1080p 30fps videos, and once again, looking side by side at the output, you can clearly see that the 11s's output is brighter, because of which it looks sharper also. Shadows and highlights are handled well in comparison to Note 11's output, and of course, the stabilization is also better on the Note 11s. So I'm recording the 1080p 30fps videos from the Redmi Note 11s and the Redmi Note 11, and this is the kind of quality that you get from both the phones. Not the best, I would say, but slightly better on the 11s because the video output looks brighter. Dynamic range again not the best on both the devices. Apart from that, I'll do a brisk walk so you can make out the stabilization as well. The video looks more stable on the Redmi Note 11s as far as I can make out in the viewfinder. And how does my audio sound? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, what do you think about the overall output? Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. Cheers. At a starting price of 16,499 rupees, the Redmi Note 11s might just seem like a pricier Redmi Note 11. However, it is more than that. See, if you're someone who uses their phone casually, they want the best-in-class display and speakers, decent cameras, good endurance, and all this without spending a lot of money, I would suggest going for the Redmi Note 11. However, if you want a little more from your smartphone in terms of better camera performance, especially when it comes to video recording, camera performance during the night, and also in terms of better gaming performance, you should definitely put in the extra cash and get the Redmi Note 11s instead. Now I do understand that because of the pricing of the Note 11s and the Note 11, it can be a bit confusing for you if you're on the fence of buying a new smartphone, specifically if your choice is narrowed down between the Note 11s and the Note 11. But from what I understand, I believe that Redmi wants to cater to everyone who wants to purchase a brand new smartphone, irrespective of their budget. And of course, Redmi wants to sell a lot of smartphones and grow their business. I mean, come on. And there you have it, folks. This was my review of the Redmi Note 11s. If you have any doubts, queries or thoughts, share them with me in the comments below. And as always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Mr. Phone. I'll catch you all in the very next one. Thank you for watching.